You. Lisa Cookston joins us now. She is executive director of the Museum of the Mississippi Delta. I'm assuming that if you run a museum, you hope that you have good content with which to fill the museum and lots to choose from. I cannot think of a part of the country with more good content for a museum than that of the Mississippi Delta. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
So how are things going in Greenwood at the Museum of the Mississippi Delta?
Well, we are gearing up for a really big exhibit. So right now we're scrambling to make ready for an 18-wheeler to pull into the Museum of the Mississippi Delta this week and put together this exhibit that's been crisscrossing the nation called America at the Crossroads, the Guitar in a Changing Nation, from the National Guitar Museum out of Los Angeles.
Wow. What's the focus of the exhibit?
Well, it's about how the guitar really shaped our country. You know, its influence on America's history and culture and politics, and because you could move around with it and it was a cheaper instrument, how it opened up, you know, the instrument to a wide range of people who wouldn't normally have access to musical instruments, and how, you know, bluesmen, Elvis Presley, women, you know, just got their hands on it and changed the way we listen to music. And we can also claim in Greenwood, the Mississippi Delta, that we kind of invented it all sprang from this area. We like to claim it anyway.
I understand that. And I mean, we talk about Mississippi as the birthplace of the blues is the moniker, but at the same time, really birthplace of American music. And, every genre of music that we have today seems like it has some roots to the state of Mississippi, whether you're talking about, rock and roll and what Elvis Presley did to change everything, or the blues and all of the incredible blues musicians that have come from the state. You can see an impact in every type of music that we have today.
I think so, yes. I mean, the Crossroads are here in the Delta. Robert Johnson, who's had a huge impact on Eric Clapton, the Rolling Stones, and so many more, is buried right here in Leflore County. If you start looking just in Leflore County, which is where our museum is, there's so many influential musicians. If you just do a little research, you'd be amazed. And Bobby Gentry, I mean, Ode to Billy Joe. She's right here. And we have so much to be proud of in the Delta. We can get down on so much in our state and in our region, but we have so much wealth of talent and, culture from here. So we hope that we can show what we need to be proud of and what we spread across the world that we can be proud of.
I'm curious if you have studied the story of the Crossroads, because that's this mythical story that's out there. And I was doing some reading about it not too terribly long ago, and there are like a lot of different versions of the story. There are multiple places that claim as being the home of the Crossroads. I guess Clarksdale probably the most famous, but there are others who say no, it was more here along the way. That Robert Johnson story is it's a mysterious one as well. How much have you studied on that?
Well, if you live here, you've heard it all your life. So study, it's just part of the culture. I mean, the Delta is mythical and magical in itself. So yeah, you've just heard it. So, I mean, study, you just make it up as you go along, but it's here.
and maybe that's
Yeah, well, Robert Johnson was just a so-so blues musician, and he went away for a little while. And when he came back, everybody was like, "What happened? He's incredible," And then they said he went down to the Crossroads and made a deal with the devil. And it is somewhere people claim around Clarksdale. Some people say around Tutwiler, but it's around these parts. So,
No doubt.
but
And
anyway,
maybe
he
the
came back
mystery.
playing great. It's a
Yeah,
mystery.
maybe the mystery of the legend is what makes it such a great part of the fabric of the history of music in the United States. Um,
Yeah.
so this exhibit, you said an 18-wheeler coming in, loaded down with guitars, and how difficult is it to secure a time window for an exhibit like this to bring in, to display, to put out for people to be able to see and study?
Well, it's not hard to do that part. Just the hard part is raising the money. It just takes money. Um,
Yeah.
but it was a challenge posed to me by a local banker because this exhibit has been to Mississippi. It was at the Max way over a year ago.
Okay.
And when I heard about it, uh, the he's a friend of mine. He said, I bet you can't get this. And when I looked it up, there was a window. But then I found out how much it cost to get it. And so the challenge was raising the money. And people stepped up. And we got the money raised and said, we're going to get it and we're going to have it here. And thankfully, we secured it. And we have been advertising this internationally to hopefully pull those blues travelers off, between Memphis and New Orleans and pull them into Greenwood. So we're betting that this will be a nice stop on summer tours, not just for international travelers, but for our local residents and regional travelers. Because when people do come, and you'd be surprised at the number of travelers across the country who come in and want to see something about music in this area. And we've got some great, we've got the Grammy Museum 45 minutes away. We've got B.B. King. We've got something in Clarksdale. But, when they come to Greenwood, they want to understand what the music is like. In addition to the other things that we have at our little museum. The Museum of the Mississippi Delta encompasses, military history, Civil War, Native American pottery. We have a great art collection. So, and a swamp museum, a Native American, not Native American, but what you would find in a Delta swamp. We're probably the oldest museum in our area. We were founded in 1969, but this is going to be a great addition to our permanent pieces. And this will come in and open May 29th and be here through Labor Day weekend.
Okay, so the entire summer it's going to be there at the museum for the Mississippi Museum of the Mississippi Delta. Last thing for you, and you touched on this a second ago. I'm always fascinated with the international travelers. There are lots of people that have talked about that. Can you kind of put into words what that looks like and what those numbers are like with people that are coming from Europe and all over the world to study the history of music in Mississippi?
You would be amazed at the number of people that just wander in from all over the world who want to understand the culture of this area, especially they're on a blues trail and civil rights. They just find this area charming. And, I wish my friend Ashley Farmer, who is the head of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, she goes on international trips and sells this to the international traveler. And they're fascinated by it because this area is, most southern place on earth. And, if you say you have roots in the Delta. I kind of think the Delta is the heart and soul of the state of Mississippi. Not to take anything away from the rest of the state. We all have our unique spots, but you know, it is. It's just the culture is just a different vibe from the rest of the state, and people are fascinated by the mystery and the myth and what we have to offer.
The exhibit opens May 29th, America at the Crossroads, the guitar and a changing nation. It's at the Museum of the Mississippi Delta.